this time we'll be taking a look at the last figure in the Wave 13 of DC Universe Classics, and that is Donna Troy, or Wonder Girl. Donna Troy first makes her appearance in The Brave and the Bold, number 60, in 1965. Here on the card, her biography and statistics, as well as all the other figures in the Wave: Negative Man, Superboy, Cyclotron, Blue Beetle, Cheetah, Blue Devil, and of course the Build-A-Figure Trigon. Now I just wanted to bring to your attention, I don't know if it's going to turn up, but you can... Mattel does this every once in a while with their DC Universe Classics figures, is that they'll have special packaging here, and you'll notice they have stars on both sides of the figure. She of course comes with the piece of Trigon. I believe it's the head and groin area, and she comes with a button like all the 75th anniversary packaging figures do, and that is actually from the New Teen Titans number 1, 1980-81. Taking a look at the sculpt, it's kind of nice. Her nose to me looks a little squashed from the side, but it looks pretty good from the front. I noticed that she does have a problem with her legs being pushed out. They have a tendency to sit like this, and you can see the gap there. You can push them in, but you gotta hold them there, and they have a tendency just to pop out. Something that I found a lot with these figures is they had bent legs because of the way they were positioned inside the package. And her leg was the most bent out of all of them. I think you can probably see that right there, how it bows out like that. It is the most prominent on her because it really requires some fiddling around with her to get her to stand up. But she does, once you get her, she does stand up. She does look kind of odd standing there. The paint scheme is very nice. You get some highlights, some blue highlights in her hair. You can see the stars on her uniform. A little bit of paint slop on the boots, but then that's really trying to find something wrong with it. She's got these nice blue, shiny metallic blue bracelets. Do have a problem with her eyes in that she's looking up. I really feel like they could have put the blue portion of her eyes a little bit more even. Looks like she's rolling her eyes at something. Her hair gets in the way when you try and move her head to her right, but you can move it pretty far to her left. There is hardly any up and down. Her arms do go all the way around, rotate at the bicep, bend at the elbow, although there isn't much posability there for some reason. They don't like to have the elbows bend as far, I guess because they're so tiny compared to the male arms. And her wrists rotate. A little bit of upper body articulation, but it's real loose there. Her legs, they go out, but they don't really move forward or back. I can feel that stressing, so I'm not really going to move that much. Her thighs swivel, her knees bend, and her ankles bend. One pretty big problem that I have with the figure is that they don't have, at least one hand I think should be open, and you should be able to have a lasso being held by that hand, or at least a small little hole through it so you can thread it through. They've done that with other figures in other lines. They could have done it here for the DC Universe classics, both the Wonder Woman and Donna Troy. The very confusing and pretty much ever-changing backstory or origin of Donna Troy, Wonder Girl. Of course, Wonder Girl, in her first appearance, was actually a reimagining of an earlier character, which was actually a time-traveling duplicate of Wonder Woman. You might have seen some stories reprinted in places where you get Wonder Tot, Wonder Girl, and Wonder Woman all having an adventure together. And, well, yeah, those are all actually the same person, Diana Prince, Wonder Woman. Later on, a new Wonder Girl shows up. This Wonder Girl, it was an orphan that was rescued from a fire by Wonder Woman and taken to Themyscira and given Amazon powers by the magical / technological Purple Ray. Was then raised by the Amazons, was like a ward of Wonder Woman. Up until 1969, she had the same uniform, which is kind of a blousy looking little number that the old Wonder Girl had worn. So in 1969, she gets her nice new red jumpsuit, stretch pants little number that you see here with the go-go boot. Very sort of hip new costume. She remains a member of the Titans up until the series was canceled and then briefly restarted again. She returns as a member. She returns as a member in the New Teen Titans in the 80s. Has pretty much been a mainstay of the team since its inception. They did a great little story, one-issue story, where Dick Grayson, as a wedding gift to Donna, looks into her background, and he finds out that she was actually put up for adoption, and finds where her biological mother is now remarried with some kids with her new husband, and so she's able to kind of finally have a family when she reconnects with her mother. Here's where we get into the fun part, kiddies, because that's all pre-Crisis. Post-Crisis, of course, Wonder Woman her origin was changed so that she was a brand new arrival to the outside world. And so we had to explain, well, how is Wonder Girl active before Wonder Woman in this new reorganized reality? So they linked her to the actual Titans of myth, the Greek gods, actually the predecessors to the Greek gods. When she discovers or rediscovers her new origin, she renames herself Troia. Shortly thereafter, she becomes pregnant, and her unborn son is the source or target of some time-traveling titans who are after her son because they think it will become because of her connection to the Titans, it will have all the powers of a god upon his birth and try and take over the universe. So she sacrifices her powers so that her son will just grow up to be a normal human being. She cannot get out of the hero business, though, and she becomes part of the Dark Stars, organized by a faction of former Owens. Recognize them from the Green Lantern Corps, called the Controllers. They build the suits and create this rival space patrol gang called the Dark Stars. She kind of loses touch with, or falls out of love with her husband, and she gets divorced and loses custody of her kids to him. And pretty soon her origin is retconned yet again, and she is reverted to, in sort of a nod to that old Wonder Woman story, she's reverted to a magical duplicate of Wonder Woman, and she was kidnapped by the Dark Angel, who actually thought she was the real Diana. When this Dark Angel found out that it was a copy, it cursed her to live endless lives filled with suffering and pain, and that's why it's explained that she's gone through all this, the divorce and lost her kids and everything. She is killed in the Titans Young Justice Graduation Day miniseries, and that led to a dissolution of both teams, but she never really died. She was just taken away by the Titans of Myth. She's found out to be alive by the Titans and outsiders. And she becomes aware of the fact that she has been created from the merger of all the pre-crisis worlds. She is aware multiple worlds, multiple universes existed, and retains the memories of all of them. She does have a brief career as Wonder Woman, at the point replacing Diana for a little bit. In Blackest Night, she was infected by the Black Lanterns, but did not become a full Black Lantern herself, just merely infected by them somehow. She has just recently joined the Justice League and serves as kind of the replacement Wonder Woman on that team. There is the long and somewhat, not somewhat, but very confusing history of Donna Troy, Wonder Girl. So that'll be it, and stay tuned for my next review, which will be on the Build-A-Figure Trigon.